Hi, this is Coach Judith, and this is Quarantine Coding Club. For those of you who haven't joined us before, I just want to welcome you and let you know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be reviewing a video that my coworker Steven created. He is a computer scientist, a coder, and we are going to be looking at some of the process that he uses to create videos that includes coding. A little bit about myself. I teach kids how to code, usually in the classroom. And now I've been doing this quarantine coding club for a little bit and I'm enjoying it. I wish I could say enjoying getting to meet you, but obviously through YouTube, I'm not getting to meet you in person. But maybe someday when we all get out of this quarantine and get to the other side of the coronavirus. Anyway, here goes the video. Let's watch.
This episode will have 5 parts. There's preview, pre-review, review, meta-review, and post-review.
So I want to stop it here. I hope what you noticed was that Stephen was writing really fast, and he talked about that in one of the previous videos, and we will see that again. It's a technique he uses. He actually used code that he wrote to speed up the viewing of these little clips. So he records himself writing the word preview and drawing the picture, and then he records himself writing the word pre-review and drawing the picture. And then he takes all of these clips and he uses code to make them faster because he is a coder and he's always looking for ways to make his life a little more efficient by automating things using code. So let's keep watching.
Now, you might think this is an episode about review, but it's actually about pipeline.
Of course, we all thought it was an episode about review, wasn't it? Didn't we think that? But no, it's about pipelines, and that is sort of a computer science term, just the process of going from one step to the next.
In pre-review, I'll download from YouTube my last 5 episodes of this show using a script. Then, I'll combine them with a script into a clip that I'll embed in the next minute. And then I'll do the same thing for meta-review.
All right, just the word meta or the term meta. So here he's going over what's going to happen in this 5-minute video. So the preview is what we're in now. He's explaining what we're about to do. Then we're going to pre-review. He's going to talk about his process. We're going to see the process. So the term meta, we've seen this come up in several of these videos. Our company is called Meta Coders. Meta is a term where it's almost in a circular situation. So we are meta coders. We code things that create code. That is what is meta about our coding. And he is going to do a meta review, or I guess he's going to do a review about the review. Let's keep watching.
Then we'll relax in post-review.
Oh, I can't wait to relax.
I'm using a program called YouTube DL, which is open source.
Open source may or may not be a term you are familiar with. Open source is usually referred to software, and that means that it is out, usually on the internet, something that anybody can edit or change themselves and add to. The cool thing about open source projects or open source software is nobody owns them, and they get better by just having a lot of people participate in the improvement of them. Something that you might be familiar with is Wikipedia. Wikipedia is open source in that somebody can post an article about, say you post an article about an airplane, and you write all these cool things that you know about airplanes, but somebody else can go in and edit that because some of your information was wrong. Maybe you didn't know about a particular kind of airplane, and they go in and they fix it. And then the third person can come in and say, oh, well, let me add some notes here because I really like what's already in this article and I want to change it. So that's what open source is. And Stephen is using an open source program called YouTube DL, which I guess stands for download, to download YouTube programs. Stephen has created a bunch of these videos. They are all on the Meta Coders YouTube channel, and now he is going to download them back. But he always wants to do everything in a way that is automated and efficient. So he is using this YouTube DL to download the programs.
It's a command line tool that downloads videos from YouTube.
Oh, and then he used the word command line. So what we are most familiar with if we're using a Windows or a Mac computer or a cell phone or a tablet is a graphical user interface, a GUI, graphical user interface. And that just means mostly it's pictures. But every computer at least has a command line interface. So here's my command prompt, and everything is words. If I want to see the files that are in this, what would be called a folder in a graphical user interface, it's called a directory in a command line interface. Everything is just text. So that's the difference between command prompt and graphical user interface.
Usually, when you grab things from YouTube for your own video project, you have to determine whether or not your usage falls under what are called fair use guidelines. But these are my own videos, so I can use them however I want.
Fair use guidelines. So everything that is created by, say, an artist or most things would be copyrighted and owned by that artist. Maybe Disney. Disney owns the Little Mermaid movies, and you cannot use the Little Mermaid images if you just like them. You cannot take them and create your own products and sell them because Disney would come after you and say, no, 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 that's not okay. But something that is in the public domain, that is out there on the internet as fair use, means that you can do whatever you want with it if you own it. And if you don't own it, you have to make sure that you are paying the people that do own it. So that is fair use. And Stephen is saying that the YouTube clips that he is downloading, he owns them because he created them. So there's no issue with him downloading them again. He doesn't have, he can use them and he doesn't have to pay anybody to use those clips. So no issues there.
Instead of running YouTube DL directly on the command line 5 times, I wrote a small script that runs it for me 5 times.
Oh, I wanted to show that. This little piece of code that Stephen wrote here that runs YouTube DL with these different video clips. And it's taking them in as the 5 different clips. And here, this is a little comment here of which clips he is taking in I guess this is week 1, episode 4, week 2, episode 1, etc. Let's keep watching.
5 times. Now, I'm writing a program called ToShotCut, in which I specify that I want to combine each of the downloaded files into one 25-second clip where each video is just 5 seconds long.
Oh, let's look at that code again. This is another piece of code that Stephen has written. So he is running in the language Racket, which is a language that we use a lot at Metacoders. And he is combining these different clips that he's now downloaded from YouTube, and each of them are 5 seconds. He's going to combine them into a single file that then he can open up in Shotcut. Shotcut is the language he is using to create videos. It's a video editing program.
Is just 5 seconds long. Then I run it on the command line to produce a Shotcut file. I'm opening it in Shotcut to check whether it worked, and it did.
And this is Shotcut here.
Let's render it and review. The output of that script will go right here. And since that sped up video has 5 subparts, we'll make a little bit of a progress bar here at the...
So what he's going to show us, you saw his speeding up drawing here. So he's going to take the 5 different clips of his that he has legally able to download and use himself, and He downloaded them using the YouTube DL. He's putting each one of those in these little circles, and he's going to combine them to create a video that we're going to see here.
Bottom. In this episode, I wrote some scripts to make my pipelines faster. And
so these are the 5 different episodes that he downloaded. For those of you who haven't seen them, he's just going to tell you what they were. This was the first one that he just described.
they worked. Then I faced a dilemma.
Oh, and also, let me just go back here. As he's putting the little chess piece here, the episode itself is running super fast in the middle. Let's watch for that.
Bar here at the bottom. In this episode, I wrote some scripts to make my pipelines faster.
That was what he was showing there. That was the episode where he ran scripts to make his pipelines faster.
And they worked. Then I faced a dilemma of whether I should keep making them faster or try to provide value to the world.
That was his second episode that we just watched really fast here.
I ultimately chose value to the world. I made a Facebook group and started recruiting. But my pipelines were still buggy and I couldn't even produce the episode I wanted to that day. I got it up the next day. It was about the extended mind. That's the last 5 episodes in 25 seconds total.
Wow. That was each one of these episodes, I believe, was about 5 minutes. So that's 25 minutes worth of episodes that ran in this tiny box really fast.
Now we just need to clean up these pawns and I guess drop the pen on the paper.
All right. So we dropped the pen on the paper. That is the end of this half of the video. We are going to resume in a second response video. I hope that you will watch it as well.